From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Mag's Place, of course, at my bar where everybody is welcome. Brought to you by our good friends at the Heritage Capital Group and at Farther. We're talking a little banking, a little capital, a little ball, a little branding, a little bit of everything right here at the bar. Let's welcome in the panel. Jeff Weeks is here. How are you, Jeff?
Hey, Tom.
TC
I'm good.
Federal Bank. How you doing?
Doing great.
Somewhat new bank to the area. Please do tell.
Yeah, it is. So I'm a Jacksonville native,
Yes, sir.
but the TC Federal Bank name is new to Jacksonville.
Okay.
We're based in Thomasville, Georgia. Started in 1934, so next year we'll be 90 years old.
Wow.
And we have offices in Tallahassee, Savannah, and now Jacksonville.
Okay.
Been open about 6 or 8 months now, since June.
Okay.
And doing great.
What's the special sauce, if you will? What does TC offer that other federal banks might not?
Yeah, our business model is based on a community banking model.
Okay.
So we're a small bank, and we focus on mainly commercial banking. We've got consumer products as well, but it's a high-touch, high-service environment because we're a very flat organization, and so you don't have to go very far to get decisions made. And so it's just basically a one-on-one personal banking kind of touch.
Less red tape,
Yeah.
which everybody's happy about.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt about it. Great to have you on the show, Jeff.
Thank you.
Bill Prescott's back. Hey, Bill.
Hey.
Heritage Capital Group. What's the latest, man? Anything new and exciting you're working on?
I was talking with Jeff, and it's an interesting time lending-wise.
Yeah.
So a lot of companies that borrowed at 3%, easy to make covenants. All of a sudden, when you're at 9%, a little bit more difficult. So, and it's a really tight lending market right now.
Right.
So so working with a lot of clients, trying to work through.
How do you massage that? Can you? The covenants like that,
It's tough, but I learned a long time ago. If you're going to have problems, get in touch with the bank right away. Let them know. Don't let it be a surprise, and try to work through it.
Communicate with you.
Absolutely. It's all about communication.
Good, great. What was the bank? Was it Barnett, then First Union? What was our bank that we started back in the Jags?
First Union.
First Union and then Barnett?
No, First Union, then Wachovia, then Wells Fargo.
Okay.
They all
The game of telephone. Keep going. That's fantastic. Great to have you guys on the show. Jenifer Holland is here. How are you?
Hey, good.
Holland People and Brands, which is a new branding name for you. Is that correct?
Well,
Somewhat?
we founded the company as Holland Creative Services 27 years ago,
Right.
but in 2015 repositioned as Holland People Plus Brands.
Okay. Well, how'd you get to that decision? Just curious.
Well, when folks would come and want a brochure, a website, a logo, my first question was, what is it going to do for your business?
Right.
And through those conversations, sometimes that wasn't the right fit. They don't need a brochure. It's not going to actually do what they think. If you have a brochure, then you have business. But there's a bigger plan that has to come into place. And what I learned is that you can get a brochure or a logo done anywhere, even back then, right? I mean, there's lots of places to go to get good creative. But if you don't have the strategy behind it and the positioning of how you're communicating and a real plan of how you acquire those customers, then it's not going to impact the business. So our whole program is all about helping the business achieve success.
Yeah,
and a model we created, we were published in the International Journal of Brand Strategy on the model that guarantees double-digit growth.
Okay.
So sustainable double-digit growth. And the key there, the magic sauce, is the model is called the Holland Helix, but it aligns business strategy, brand strategy, and people strategy.
Okay.
If you're communicating one thing and your people aren't delivering on that brand promise,
That's right.
I don't believe you anymore.
That's right.
So we hardwire that brand promise delivery inside the organization. And so as the business has evolved, we've grown to call it something different because there's so much confusion. Branding, what is that? Oh, that's a logo. It's
a lot more than that.
It's enterprise value growth.
Right.
That's what you're doing, and it's much more. When you ask for a website, you're not really doing anything towards that.
What about like early companies? Can there be too much branding by pushing it out there too much? Like you got to be consistent. But I go, look, I'm a big social media, like Twitter. I see some people, I go right by them because they say the same thing, or they're just doing too much. And after a while, I'm like, I really don't even want to
Noise.
pay attention.
You don't want noise. Noise will be just ignored.
Right.
So
Okay.
you've got to focus on what your message is, and a key way to communicate it that's going to
Yeah.
be relevant and impactful,
Yeah.
and then you can rise above the clutter and be known.
That's great. That's great. Great to have you on the show. Daniel, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, doing
Gilham
great.
from Farther, of course.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Gets your head spinning.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about this and just our immense growth that we've seen over the last 2 years. We've gone from 20 people to just over 100. And when I think about branding, it is the people.
It is
So
the people.
the people that we have
Yep.
that have come alongside us to further our mission have become our brand. And
Yep.
so for me, it's one and the same.
Absolutely.
It's people delivering that brand promise, right?
And all
To
the
an
points of contact
extent, yeah.
around it. So, there's delivery mechanisms or touch points that need to be addressed
Yeah.
that will ensure a wow experience, because the customer experience is paramount now.
Yep, no doubt.
More than ever.
No doubt. Coach Campbell's back. How are you,
How you
Coach?
doing? I'm good, Tom.
Never
How you
the,
doing?
yeah, I saved the best for last. For
Oh,
sure,
yeah,
man.
absolutely.
But-
I think Jenifer does all right there.
You're my favorite now.
But Coach, you represent, when you're coaching, and your players represent the brand. They represent the shield of the Jacksonville Jack or whatever team.
Right.
Right. You have to deliver on that brand. Right? I mean, it's
Absolutely.
very similar.
It's so similar, just even with a head coach that
Yep.
has a coaching staff. It's the same thing that you're talking about.
Yep.
The guys that you bring in, you certainly don't want to bring somebody in that's going to
Tarnish
go
the
negative
Right.
Yes.
in the situation. So branding is huge. And the other thing that was mentioned earlier in one of the other shows is you mentioned the shorter sometimes
Yeah,
the
quick
commercial
videos,
is,
yep, hit 'em
the
quick.
better. Everybody today, rather than seeing a coach's show,
Yep.
they'd rather see a 15-second blurb
Of what
on
it
exactly
was.
what's going to happen this week and
Yep.
that type of thing. And I think that's the new way of going about getting your message out.
Well, it's like the, and we got to wrap up here, but it's like the ads online. You get a chance to skip them after like 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But they make you watch 4 or 5 seconds. You may be
Right.
like, oh, that's kind of cool commercial. Maybe I'll watch it. Most of the time, I'm like, skip because I want to get to the content. But it's kind of in that vein, right? You have the last word here, Jeff. A new bank to the area, branding, exposure, marketing, all that stuff is very important for you guys.
It is very important and very difficult to get your name out to start with, and
Yep.
so finding ways to do that, the new ways basically through social media and other online outlets is very important.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
getting
And I would suggest that uncovering why you very clearly and succinctly,
yeah.
and starting with that message.
That's right.
Because if you're just going out there and bringing awareness, you will get some, but you won't get real traction.
No, you're exactly right.
Yeah. What makes us different?
What makes us different?
Boom.
Why
And then
you?
deliver. Knock them out, make
That's
sure they
it,
don't get
that's
up,
it.
and then let them up and tap them on the back. All right. Great to have you guys. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that good stuff out there.
Thank you.
All right. Make sure you check out all their great profiles at iwanttabuzz.com. You'll see this conversation. You'll see hundreds of others. You're all welcome to have a seat at the bar at Tommy Mac's. Until next time, y'all stay safe and be cool out there. We'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
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 The team at Heritage Capital Group is special because it's a collection of people across the spectrum.
We have people who have been in the shoes of owners that are looking to buy and sell, and professionals that have executed transactions helping buy and sell companies for decades.
I think when you talk to us, see what our experience is, see what our skills are, see the reach that we have, you'll be very happy with the recommendation.